What's up, people? How we doing? Episode 37 of the Fun Football Podcast. This is becoming like a thing, Bill.
Hey, man. How you doing, my friend? How you doing, buddy?
A little better. Last week's episode really helped, and I had a lot of fun on Tuesdays. We had a blast. We had some laughs. I had a I'm going to send you some clips.
Okay.
We had a Patriots and a Raiders guy, and they're both great, but they kind of go at each other. And after the Raiders guy had to leave to be with his kids, I kind of went at the Patriots guy a little. He's hopping on tomorrow. He's becoming a good friend.
Nice.
I don't want to just trigger the guy, but it was kind of I think I laughed more that episode than I ever have. It was like awesome. But the one with Lynn, man, I was impressed. She really did a good job.
Yeah.
She knows
excellent.
her football, and I'm just thankful that she was up for doing it. So for the listeners, before we're going to get into this, and this is going to be a little bit shorter of an episode. Probably just a close one with me and Bill, but we've tinkered with the idea of adding people for the end of shows moving forward, especially next season. But I added it up. I was shocked. I probably was worth at least 20 because I probably clicked on it that many times. It had over 2,100 views in a week.
Wow. That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Dude, that's crazy. Our episode the week before that just cracked 1,000. That was the first one to ever do it. So I got to say thank you to everybody. And I have a contest. I've had a couple people reach out, so I'm going to close it in a week. But I said if anybody wants to hop on for a full-length episode with me and you, or if you're not free and my dad or anybody else, I'm going to bring 2 people on in the next couple weeks. And then I'm taking a hiatus. I'm kind of excited. I'm going to take 2-3 weeks off, come back for free agency. The draft, if you're up for that, pick 'em. I think we're at 8, so let me know. It's going to be a mock draft. It's going to be pretty sweet. So, I'm excited. But
awesome, man.
How are you doing, man?
Doing good. Just working, a lot. Again, I'm glad to see your better spirits. I know you had a tough family thing there, but good to see you back. Good to see you back.
I've just been wanting to talk to her in the last 2 weeks, and she's just not there.
Yeah.
So that really sucks. But can't change it.
Nope.
Just going to try to push forward. I kind of feel like I've joined the Lost a Parent Club because she was basically my confidant, my mom. I've talked about her in every show I've been on since, even this Packer one I did on Wednesday. I don't talk to my mom. That's a personal thing. But regardless, I've always been super close to this aunt. She was like probably number 2, tied with my dad after the wife that I would call, except for football season. I think you take first.
Yeah. Thank you.
So
I love you too, brother. I love you too, man. But
we're doing an in-person episode next year. I'm coming over, and we're going to do one on a Friday or on a Sunday before the games, because doing it here with Lynn added so much energy. We got to do it.
Right. Yeah. So, okay.
Yeah. Well, thanks everybody for listening. My dad said BS.
Oh, man.
Hey, back it up.
Hi,
JB is here. We got a lot of people here. So there's some problems with some other ones. But JB, me and him talked today. He's a big Dolphins fan. He's hopped on a few shows now that we're on YouTube. Good to see you, man.
Go Tua.
My student who got checked out early today. She's here.
Hey, Cheyenne.
Hey, happy you're here. My dad said baloney. And all right, guys, we have a lot of Packer stuff, but I think we're going to save it.
Yeah.
Just for a minute. Maybe we'll do it in between the games.
Yep.
Bill, I haven't gotten to talk to you. What were your thoughts on the Lions? Because
let me tell you,
that was something,
dude. Ooh. The Lions. I mean, wow.
Man, they came on fire.
Oh, up 24-7 halftime. I'm thinking, Lions first Super Bowl right here, and then they give up 27 points in the second half. What happened? I mean, wow, dude, that's just wow.
Did you like Dan Campbell's call to go for a field goal at the end of the first half? Because I was impressed. And then when he went for it in the fourth, I hated that. I was like, you got to take points. He goofed on those 6 points, and that was the difference. Purdy probably would have had a last-second drive to either win the game or go to OT, but at least it would have been in doubt. And That's the way I interpreted it.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Field goals, yes. Do you hate to take them in the playoffs because a touchdown is going to beat you, but it's better than 0 points. So I'd rather take 3 than 0. But and to only score 7 points in the second half after they came out the way they did, I don't get. I mean, did San Francisco make that much of adjustments on defense, or did Detroit just fall asleep? I mean, I don't know. That's just.
Ooh, we got another comment here, and I'm gonna try to do comments all at once. I'm gonna try to get better at it. But this guy is making a good point about Mahomes because of Mahomes. Thoughts on the NFL being a quarterback-driven league? Well, that's why I think the Packers might be in good shape moving forward, like they've been for 30 years and been lucky. But that's that was actually my worry about Goff. But he didn't play a sloppy game. He missed a 4th down throw, but he had a solid game. He had almost 300 yards and a touch. And Purdy honestly could have had 2 picks. He had one right there. This is what's nuts about the AFC, Michael. I like that it adds Twitter comments now. I didn't used to do that.
Yeah.
Bill, my thoughts on it are we did a top 10 quarterback ranking on Blitz on Tuesday.
Okay.
And it's crazy that all this quarterback talent stacked in the AFC because you got Mahomes at the cream, and then you could take your pick of Burrow when he's healthy or Allen. All in the AFC. Jackson. I have made arguments about Herbert. He's further down the list for me. I've got Stroud. Those are my top 5 quarterbacks all in the AFC. And it's crazy that the talent is all hoarding there. I think the NFC is it's gonna be interesting what happens with Jalen Hurts and Dak. And I think Jordan Love's on the come up, and you got Goff and Purdy. I like Purdy a lot. But it's crazy how still, with everything going on, defense matters with the Chiefs, and it proved. But to me, as much as I like guys like Baker Mayfield this season or Jared Goff, this year really proved you got to have a stupid talented team like the 49ers, or you got to have a Mahomes to make up for the lack of receivers and a heck of a defense in the Chiefs.
Well, and like what Michael was saying, is this a quarterback-driven league? Absolutely is. Look at all the rules that are in place to protect the quarterbacks. You can't even touch them anymore, and without getting a flag. I mean, they're so pampered now, it's not even funny. Why do you think their numbers are off the charts? Because, again, it's a quarterback-driven league. We're opening the game more. We're allowing, the quarterback to do more slide and all this kind of stuff without hitting them. I mean, I don't want injuries. I get that. But I think we protect them way too much too. So, I mean, the defense is paralyzed because they don't want to go full bore and get a penalty. So, to me, I think they're afraid to tackle sometimes.
Yeah, and what's funny is the 2 best defenses, as good as the 49ers D is, the Chiefs did a kind of alternate route here, and I'm a little surprised they were able to pull this off. With Rashee Rice, I mean, he's been okay, but with Kelsey, I mean, we thought he was in decline, and then look at the playoffs. Wow. It's the same old thing. And we're going to get into that Chiefs-Ravens game, but that one was coaching to me. The Chiefs, as much as Baltimore made some good defensive adjustments and slowed the Chiefs' offense down, the Chiefs' defense had Lamar just cooked. And they came out with the kitchen sink in the first half, really the first 20 minutes, and it was enough to ride out to victory. And we're going to get into Lamar, but I don't put this one on Goff. I would love to. Here's the thing, though. I think a better quarterback and a better head coach would have been able to stop the bleeding, but that was such a momentum swing that I don't think it would happen again. I think it would break down different with that stupid catch in the second half. So it's 24-7, and thanks to all listeners, we got 10 on right now, which is awesome. But the second half, when you've got I can't remember if it was Branch or who the Lions player was, but it hits him in the head, which is stupid. It could have been a pick. And there was another pick before that. So Purdy threw one, could have had 3, just like the Packer game. Got lucky, but we're going to talk about Purdy in a minute because his runs saved them. And he had some dime passes in the second half. He's like the Incredible Hulk. He just sleeps. He's Bruce Banner, and then he's Hulk in the second half. But that play where Ayuk had the tip catch, that was such a gut punch for the Lions. They never recovered because the 49ers score 2 plays later, and then Gibbs fumbles. So it goes from 24-7 field goal, 2-score game. that stupid play happens that could have been a pick. It ends up being a touchdown instead. And then Gibbs fumbles the very next play, and the 49ers score, and it's tied. It was just like, to me, I don't want to call it a choke job because it just felt like crazy momentum. But that's when I wanted Campbell to stop the bleeding and take those field goals. What'd you think of that?
Yeah.
So I'm really fired up. I was rooting for the Lions. I wanted them to win. I did. I was like, it'd be so cool.
Yeah, no, I think the Lions, they should feel good about their team first off. They have a young team. They can really build well. I think they're going to be a team to be reckoned with for the next couple of years.
I think the Lions are going to be fighting for the NFC North and possibly with the 49ers for the NFC crown next year. Seriously.
I agree. The Lions are a formidable team. I mean, with their defense only rushing 4 and then putting that kind of pressure, I mean, it's amazing, dude. They're tough, and then they got weapons on offense like you wouldn't believe. So I mean, they're not going away. So they're going to be there.
You know, Goff, we can talk bad about him, but he didn't make a ton of mistakes. That one of those fourth down throws was not good. But the only mistake to me, and it was probably more of the design on 2 of those plays. I think they were both fourth downs when he threw to Reynolds instead of Gibbs, but the defense was focusing on those guys. But instead of St. Brown, he didn't hit him in the second half till late. Laporta, Gibbs, Jamison Williams got hurt, so that's their 4th best target. But they went to their 5th best target when they're all healthy, and I'm like, that wasn't the guy to hit on those plays. But these are like little micro things. The coaching was the thing that bothered me the most in the second half. When I got to learn how to throw up videos on here, so I'm going to work on my editing skills because I can do it on here. I don't know if I can do it on my phone, so I'm going to work on it. But those 2 field goals he didn't take, and then if you watch the whole thing, they're down by 10. The game's probably in doubt at the end of the game. But this one really bothered me. When they're driving the Lions, they're down 10, and it's like just over a minute left. They run on 3rd down, which was questionable, but they had to try it. To take a timeout there effectively, and they got the touchdown the next play on 4th down. But I know they needed to talk about it, but what that did by taking a timeout and going to 2 was make it so you had to get the onside. I really wish they'd either no huddle field goal kicked it or no huddle just went for it. No plan, but saving the 3 timeouts in case you score so that you could get the ball back if you stop them. You have to give yourself a chance there, even if you onside kick it. I really hated that one. And I love Campbell, but he's going to have to learn to be not aggressive 100% of the time.
And you got to time manage.
But yeah.
And it comes down to a lot of these games, time management. How you manage those timeouts at the right key positions. And like you said, 2 field goal attempts that they didn't go for, that's 6 points potentially. You only lost by 3. That you may have won the game with that. So, I mean, and I get it. In the playoffs, sometimes, though, you don't want to sacrifice field goals. But 3 points is better than no points. So, I mean,
it is. And
so
it's just, it's such a gut punch because this was their opportunity. Like, I think Baltimore, I think Detroit laid a bigger egg, but it was more Lamar Jackson. But this was the Lions. They had a good opportunity here. Like, Green Bay easily could have beaten San Fran, but Detroit had them dead to rights. And then that guy got them all motivated, showing the L. He shouldn't have done that. And you can't let a team like San Fran get back in it, but it was such a crazy momentum swing. I'm going to be curious what they do with Goff moving forward. I was impressed the OC wanted to stay. That's a good sign for them. I think they're going to be right there. It depends on how the free agency and the draft goes for the Lions. But those Purdy runs in that second half were so difference-making because they extended drives. They were momentum swinging, and Purdy really woke up in the second half, and it was kind of like the Packers game.
Yeah.
He hooked up in the second half both weeks. It's interesting because if he does that against KC, they're done. In my opinion.
Yeah, no.
He can't not show up for a half.
No. KC, no.
I feel bad for Lions fans because they've waited forever for this, but what a run. Good season.
Yeah.
I was pulling for you guys. I'm not that kind of Packers fan that's not going to do it. I hope they're back next year. It'd be so cool to see those 2 teams fight to go to the conference championship. San Fran's going to be in an interesting predicament because they're going to have to pay Purdy soon. So they might have one more year with this much talent, and then they're going to have to figure something out. So,
the Lions Packers will be battling for the NFC North a lot in the next couple of years. It's going to be a battle.
Unless the Bears they get another draft steal, just a haul with the first pick, which is possible. But I think Minnesota's in big trouble. So I think that's going to be the cream of the crop of the NFC North, and maybe they might be playing the playoffs deep.
Yeah,
second or third round.
Absolutely.
My closing thoughts is I just feel bad for Lions fans, but I'm impressed with the 49ers' resiliency and their ability to stay in it and pull that out in the second half. Both weeks, good on them. I think they got a real shot in the Super Bowl, but they got to shore up some issues on defense, and they got to get Purdy going in the first half. He can't, Mahomes will eat him alive, and that defense.
Yes,
they're gonna have to play their best game, I think.
We'll talk about that defense here in a little bit when we talk about the Ravens game. But the Chiefs, they're going to come. They're going to put points up. They have a defense. Frisco's going to have to play their best game on both sides. Otherwise, Chiefs are going to chew them up.
Well, why don't we do that Chiefs-Ravens game, and then we can either do our Super Bowl preview or some Packers stuff, and then I'd love to have you back on for a Super Bowl preview next week. I think Friday would be fun after the other Pick'em show. I think that'd be cool. Yeah. Listeners, would you while we close on it, and I'll go back to comments, what'd y'all think of that Lions game? I know it's been a few days, so it's all sunk in. There's a bunch of coaching stuff I got to hit, not just Packers. The Cowboys had a big change too.
Yep.
We're going to talk on that. I think they're going to be in trouble. And the Eagles made a big move too with
yes, they did.
Mr. Kellen Moore. Very big stuff. But let's get into that Chiefs Ravens. To me, that was a coaching clinic, dude. Spagnuolo, man, if he must he could be a head coach. But I think he does better with just defense. But he's such an asset for that team because they destroyed Baltimore's game plan. Yeah. And Baltimore doesn't seem to know how to play from behind, and I'm a little surprised because it was never more than 10 points. Why didn't they never more than 14. Why didn't they run the ball in the second half down one score or down 10 to try to give their defense a rest? They stopped running the ball. We were talking this on the other show, Bill. Outside of Lamar, there was only I got to pull it up, but I think there was only 6 runs in the game from Baltimore. Yeah. What happened?
In this league, you got to be balanced. I mean, if you're not balanced, you ain't gonna go far. I mean, I'm sorry.
What are they doing?
Yeah,
I don't know. Made no sense at all.
Yep, and I get it. You were down, 17-7. You still had to throw the ball, but you got to mix it in there.
Yeah, Lamar can't drop back 40 times against that defense and get it going. It's just not going to happen.
No. And 3 turnovers didn't help either. 2 fumbles, an interception. I mean, you can't turn it over against against a team as talented as KC. You're going to pay for it.
Yeah, Flowers had that fumble. Jackson had the fumble. He had that one pick. He didn't play a clean game, but it wasn't the worst day he's ever had. But they just needed him to be decent in this game. Right. Those turnovers were backbreaking. Yep. And it's not like Mahomes had a great day. He was effective. Yeah. He had just over 250 total yards. Lamar actually outperformed him. Yeah. But I walked away wondering what's Lamar it's not fair to just say this guy's never going to win a Super Bowl, which I firmly believe of Dak. But what is the ceiling for Lamar? Because this team was so stupid talented. Unless they go get a stud in the draft at running back or receiver, how are they going to be better? Because they're going to lose some defensive guys now that they're paying Lamar. How are they ever going to be in a better situation at home against, a good defense in Mahomes and Reed, but kind of a lackluster Chiefs offense compared to the last few years? And to lay a goose egg, this reminded me of Aaron Rodgers against San Fran at home 2 years ago, where he put up 10 and we lost. And I put a lot of the blame on him. And I hate to say it, but I got to put a lot of the blame on the coaching and Lamar here, because you got to get it done when you're the MVP. He's about to be 2-time MVP. These are the kind of games you got to win. And I know Mahomes is better, but all they needed him to do was not make mistakes, and he did.
Well, and here lie again. We're talking quarterbacks. They're the leaders. There's great quarterbacks and there's elite quarterbacks. Lamar right
I
now
like
is a
that.
great quarterback, but he's not an elite quarterback.
I had him 4th on my list, and I think next year there's a good chance a couple guys usurp him. But I mean, there's just such a big difference between a Mahomes and the rest of the NFL. But it wasn't just
Yep.
that. The difference here for Mahomes is that he's got Reed and Spags. Who else has a head coach, defensive coordinator tandem that good? Because there
Yeah.
isn't anybody. It makes the difference when the games are this
Yep.
close. It really
Yep.
does. That's what I question on LaFleur in the playoffs and this
Yep.
DC hiring, which we're going to get more into.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that was one of the things that cost us just a little bit, and then Love on that last play. But there was some stuff in the Packers game that could have helped win us the game. We played. Don't get me wrong. We came out on
Yep.
fire, and we
Yeah.
came out prepared, and we punched back in the second half.
Yep.
But this one, I'm really surprised Harbaugh didn't just step in and say, we're going to run the ball and we're going to run down their throat till they stop us. And we're going to be who we are and go down swinging that way. And they didn't. They got away from who they are. And it was weird, man. Like, I never felt like, even though the score was close, I never felt like Baltimore was really threatening KC.
Right. You never got the vibe that Baltimore had the momentum or had the juice. Nope. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and you hit the right point. Why didn't they smash mouth, physical, run the ball? But they
had 6 designed runs. Zay Flowers was 2, so 8 total in the whole game. Lamar had 8 rushes himself. That's stupid. Weren't they the best rushing offense in the NFL all year?
At least top 5.
I think they were first.
Yeah.
In a lot of metrics, like what are they doing?
I have no idea. I don't get that.
That was disappointing. Like, because while I was rooting for the Ravens because I'm a little over the Chiefs, I was disappointed in how Baltimore's defense rallied, overcame Kelsey just killing them, and honestly, the entire Chiefs offense in that first half. They responded with force in the second half, kept them in the game, and the offense just couldn't even answer. That Chiefs D is for real, though, so we got to give them some credit. They shut down Baltimore.
Yeah, the Chiefs D is very real, and we'll talk more about the Super Bowl preview. But yeah, I tell you, it's
I think we tease it this episode, then we'll do a full breakdown on next week's. Sound good?
Okay. I'm thinking it's going to be.
I'm game to break it down some now. I think we'll be getting excited next Friday. We'll be talking like Super Bowl commercials that I'm already starting to see. And what's your favorite? We're gonna have some fun topics. What's your favorite Super Bowl snack?
There you go.
There's a tight commercial I got to send you that I was so impressed with.
What's that?
It had the dude from Stranger Things, and it was like 4 or 5 different Tide commercials the same year when Stranger Things started. And it's one of the funniest freaking things I've ever seen. I'll send it to you, but I was like dying laughing.
I love Stranger Things, man. I love that show, dude. Okay, send that to me.
I didn't know you were a Stranger Things fan.
Oh yeah.
I'm sad they're not coming back till next year, man.
I know. It's like, man.
What's his superpower, Tom? Also, with this thing, I can have it other people. So I know he's not down right now, but for a Packer, if you're breaking in March and April, totally, it's cool. But I'm going to do a free agency Packer exclusive, and I was hoping to get a panel of 4 or 5 only Packer fans enter the draft. I thought it'd be fun. Just Packers talk. Only Packers.
All right. Only Packers? Okay.
Yeah.
I could be down for
something
that.
else. I want to just do Packers only. I'm going to take a few weeks off and read all this Packers stuff, and then I'll come back hungry.
Okay. There you go.
Well, I'm impressed with Kelsey. Closing thoughts. Kelsey killed him, man.
Oh, yeah.
You know what's funny, Dad, is I agree. I wanted them to see them run Lamar some more, but get the running game going, do some play action, honestly, they had no rhythm at all. The Chiefs totally took them out of everything they wanted to do, but they also got away from who they are. It was really weird. Like, I'm wondering what the head coach was thinking that whole game. Like, I don't know. It was a bizarre game, honestly.
What I don't get is, Kelsey's okay. Why don't you can't double him, but chip him at the line?
Why not? Who else is going to beat you? Rasheed Rice?
True. Right.
Scantling? They don't have Rice is the only guy I'm scared of.
Yeah.
And they limited Pacheco. He had 24 runs for 68 yards. He didn't even crack 3 yards a carry. They didn't run for a lick. It was Kelsey. That was it.
Well, you know what? Then a little teaser. Then if San Fran doubles Kelsey, I'm picking Niners win.
If I was the opposite head coach, I would do what Belichick used to do, and I would take away. I would on plays I thought they were running. I would slam the box. And I'm worried about the 49ers defense. They're good, but not great. I would stack the box on runs, force Mahomes to check out, and I would be doubling Kelsey all day.
Yeah.
And if Mahomes starts beating you with his legs, I would have the guys have dedicated pass rush lanes, and I would be blitzing Mahomes. But I think with that front four, if they just blitz a little, Mahomes is going to be running for his life. That's going to be the difference if they can get pressure with four and without having to consistently blitz. But if they need to, that could be the difference in the game, because that's where the Raiders gave Mahomes problems, and that's on that Christmas game. I think it was Christmas or Thanksgiving. And that's where, no, it's Christmas. And that's where the Super Bowl with the Bucs, Mahomes was running for his life. And if you can push that line back into Mahomes' face, it makes a big difference. Because this is not the same Chiefs team. This is a team built on running and defense. And got to take away their strengths. And they're going to have to figure out how to attack that Chiefs D, because I'm a little worried. If you remember the Baltimore, the Ravens 49ers game where they just destroyed the 49ers, the Chiefs have that type of D. They're elite. They're stacked. They've got talent. I'm worried they could disrupt the 49ers timing. We did it in the first half. The Lions did it in the first half.
Right.
You can do it to this team. They're talented, but you can slow them down. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. It'll be a good game.
I'm excited. You doing any Super Bowl squares or anything? I'm getting in on one.
No, actually, I don't have any. I should let you write me down for a few.
Get you one?
Sure.
$10. I'll see how many he's got. I'll find out after this. I'm doing a show with him tomorrow. We're doing. Oh, I didn't tell you. We just came up. They want to do a Blitz show tomorrow. I'm excited. So I'm announcing it here. We're doing a little Super Bowl. It's going to be a short one. We're going to keep it like 45 minutes or so. But we're going to do a Blitz show tomorrow. I think 1 p.m. Eastern. The wife's gone on a cruise, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to load up on shows over the next week. So yeah.
There you go.
So
all right, cool. Yeah, put me down for a few. We'll talk offline too. That sounds good.
Yeah. All right. Some of it goes to his like. He takes a small portion of it, and the rest, it's like if you hit on any of them, you're getting at least $100. So
for $10?
Yeah, but he's got a bunch of people in. This guy does cool graphics too. He's about to do one of my top 10 quarterbacks. So maybe we do that later, and he'll throw your graphic up too. I don't know if we have time in this episode. If not, we'll do it next week. But we did. We had 4 people on Tuesday, and we did a top 10. And he's going to throw a graphic up. I'm going to put up on Twitter and Facebook. I'm excited. So, it'd be cool if we have time, I want to do it this episode. So we'll talk on it. We'll do it. Okay. You want to do, I think we should talk coach, this defensive coordinator thing.
I like that. I've been doing a little research on him. Mr.
Yeah, me
is
too.
It Hafley? I think it is. Jeff Hafley.
Jeff Hafley, Boston College.
Yeah.
Former Boston College head coach. All right, Packers fans, this is your time. If you'd like to chime in, why don't you leave some comments on Mr. Jeff Hafley, our new defensive coordinator from Boston College, who I've heard will be running a 4-3 scheme, switching us. My wife had some interesting thoughts on this.
What's that?
I'm concerned about the pass coverage, because if they I'm wondering who their 4 are going to be. I think they're going to draft a kid who's going to start at some position. But I'm concerned if you got, let's say we've got our 4, let's say one of them's Kenny Clark, or we move Kenny Clark inside again with Slayton. I think we need another defensive tackle. I like Slayton. But let's say we'll either keep Kenny Clark at defensive end or move him inside at one of the nose tackle positions. I think we'll move Van Ness to the other side. And maybe we have Preston Smith on the other side. What that leaves is you've got Campbell, and Gary.
Walker.
And if we get rid of Campbell, or backs up Walker, Walker's going to start inside linebacker. So you got Walker inside linebacker. You've got Gary and you've got Van Ness or Preston Smith starting. While I like that for run defense, that is going to be terrible for pass coverage, because none of those guys can cover anybody. At all. So I think we're going to go to nickel on a lot of passing downs, and I think we're going to need to draft another corner, whether we keep Alexander or not, because we got Valentine, Alexander, Nixon. We're going to need another corner because it's a 4-2-5 scheme. So I'm curious how it's going to be. I kind of agree with my dad. He believes he's not scheme committed. He's more of a personnel guy. Okay, so I talked for a while. I'm going to shut up. What are your thoughts?
I'm thinking with the 4-3, yeah, we're going to have to do some shuffling. But I think as porous as our run defense has been, I think it's going to help out. Because, one, I think we'll be able to close those gaps a little bit better and allow our linebacker, with their speed, to fill those gaps and hopefully plug the running lanes. How that's going to work with the passing scheme, like you said, with the secondary, that remains to be seen because, like you said, are we going to be able to cover those tight ends and, that kind of thing out of the slot, the receivers and all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be the real challenge in this new scheme.
It's going to be interesting because personally, I like Slayton, but I think they could upgrade. And I like Kenny Clark. I made a fun comment about him. I didn't ever think about actually cutting him, but I said, what are we going to do with his salary cap number? Because while we're on the subject,
salary cap,
they're going to have to make some moves.
Yeah.
And Bakhtiari is the clear one that's going to probably get cut.
Sorry,
I'm pulling it back up right now. But on Spot Track, you got Bakhtiari. I hit the wrong button. You got Bakhtiari at a $40 million cap hit, and it's only $19 million in dead cap. So he saves us $21 million if we cut him. I don't think it might have to be post June 2nd, but I never understand this stupid NFL salary cap baloney. It's just like a figment of your imagination, but it's sort of real. It doesn't make sense. Kenny Clark is at $27.5 million. They're going to have to do something. But if they can figure out the other guys, he's got dummy years left that are cheaper. So if they can just get through this 1 year, he's been one of our best players. I don't know.
Well, what they need to do is restructure Kenny Clark's, give him a longer term deal, but less money over the term or at the end, that kind of thing. Yeah. And get rid of Bakhtiari. I'm sorry, but you know what? He's never on the field, and we're paying him buku the money. Dude,
he was one of the best tackles in football. He just he has improved. I know he's working his tail off, but you can't even tell me that he's staying. Like he hasn't stayed healthy. He's barely played. He's played 9 games in the last 4 seasons, 3 seasons.
Yeah, it's
just time. Man.
I mean, give me $19 million not to play. I'll take that too. But
you want to pay me $19 million to not play football? I'll sign up.
Exactly, right?
Bill, you want to do that? Let's not play football for $19 million. Let's do it. Oh man. Well, it sucks because it's clearly his knees, man. It's not like I bet this dude wants to play, but sometimes your knees just give. Maybe he comes back and has a couple of years left. I could be wrong. I wouldn't be actually super surprised, but they can't keep him at that cap number. Unless and the problem is Walker was good, so I think it's time to cut bait because on the offensive line, I like Walker, I like Tom, and I really like Jenkins. The other 2 spots aren't bad. We only got 2. I think those 3 guys are mainstays, and we had the NFC North or NFC, actually not just NFC North. We gave up NFC few sacks, 30 fewest in the whole NFC.
Yep.
We just need a power, like one other power position, right tackle or center. If Myers wants to if we can push him, but I like those other 3 guys.
Yeah, I do too.
Bakhtiari isn't one of those 3 anymore.
Yep. And I think they're building. They're young. They're getting used to Jordan Love too. They're building that chemistry. I to me, either go through the draft or we can maybe trade. I don't think we'll trade for anyone. But, we hardly do. But I think draft again another offensive lineman. Yeah.
I'm curious what they're gonna do at running back. But okay, we got to talk. I just really was surprised it was Halfley. I think that they're.
Yeah.
I don't want to be mean, but there were better options.
Oh, yeah.
Did we just get this guy because he's a fan? Because not a fan, is because he's a friend of LaFleur. Like, I like that he knows DBs and he helped Ohio State, and Boston College was a better team with him there. But if you're going to go the whole college thing, Leonard was available.
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Wisconsin. I think LaFleur is just too proud to call him back up.
Well, and what got me is when he, picked Jeff, I was like, okay, great. Then I started looking at his track record, and I'm like, okay, Boston College, okay, little stint at Ohio State, then the 49ers, and then Cleveland, Tampa Bay, Rutgers, Pittsburgh. But it's all defensive back coach except for the head coaching in Boston College. I'm like, do we need defensive back coaching or do we need linebacker? I mean, I don't know. His specialties in defensive back coaching. Is that where the area we're most needing? I mean, I don't know. That's kind of what I'm a little questioning about.
Well, yeah, there was a lot of questions I had because you've got. I mean, if they really wanted a Packer, they could have gone Al Harris. I'm not sure if that would have been the best move, but you still had Ebro. You had, gosh, there were so many of the guys out there. Hey, Janae.
Yep.
Oh, you're on YouTube. I didn't know you were on there. I thought you were on. You watched on Facebook. Oh, that's funny. My dad said yes. I don't know which part he was saying yes to. So, Dad, if you're watching, let me know what yes meant. I don't know which yes part. We just said a lot, but there was other guys out there. They could have asked. They could have tried to interview Vrabel if he was up for a DC job. I bet he goes to Dallas if he wants to coach this year. But there were other options that were more established. If these people are like, I don't like NFL retreads. Our pass D wasn't our weakness. It was our run D. Did this guy know run D?
Yes.
It's such an unknown. I don't even know. I agree on the DB coaching because we're going to have to build that up. Oh, now she's on Facebook. But that's funny. She's on YouTube and Facebook. I like it. Double watching it. There you go. That's what I do. I'm watching on Twitter and Facebook at the same time. I'm literally like, while we're doing it, I'm on Twitter and I've got it on Facebook. We've got 7 other people watching though. So what do you think? You guys are Packers fans. Throw your Packer comments in. Halfway have the tools to build a good D. I agree with that because, Robert's here. Frozen Tundra. I'm gonna try to hop on tomorrow, guys. I want it.
Hey, Robert.
If it's not panel, I'm gonna try to trust LaFleur, but this has been the one big weakness he's had other than the playoffs has been picking coordinators. It's a tough thing to do. Hasn't been the worst at it, but this has been a weakness. So we're gonna find out, bud, because this would be the thing that would hold our team back.
Yes. Yeah. We gotta find some way to shore up that run. We can't get gashed. 100 yards a game. I mean,
the dude. So you got to remember, there's over 240 eligible college football teams. They were like 70th in defense. So it's really not. It sounds terrible, but it's not bad.
No.
But at BC, he had them bowl eligible 3 times. One really terrible year. The rest were around 500, which isn't bad for that school.
No.
But I just was shocked they got a guy who has had such little NFL experience, but sometimes this works. So
I don't know if we'll ever know, but my thing is, who else did they interview? That's what I want to know.
I heard they interviewed Evero and the dude from the Broncos that my dad liked, Christian Parker. And I thought he was going to get the job.
See
the Broncos DB coach, who everybody said that they liked.
Yeah,
we got a lot of comments. Janae said how we kept Barry. We have to stop the run, period.
Thank you.
Robert from Frozen Tundra, and Janae's on Frozen Tundra too. Robert said the defense he brings, the DB's close to line. I agree. I want some more press coverage. That'd be fun. Not consistently, but a little bit more. And my dad, I was right. It was the Broncos DB coach was the other guy. I think there was a third other person they interviewed, but I can't remember who it was. So it was the Panthers defensive coordinator who had that defense good with a bad offense. The Broncos DB, and then I didn't even hear about Halfley getting interviewed, and then he got the job. So
okay, yeah, I like that though.
I'm trying to not be upset. I just don't even know.
I agree with the bringing up. Put some more guys up in the line. Show them 8, 9 man fronts, man, dude.
Bring the linebackers up. It might burn us in pass coverage occasionally, but don't get them 6 yards back because you're putting Quay Walker and Campbell in bad position.
Yes.
But to me, I think Campbell's lost a half a step, and this is going to prove if Walker can handle inside linebacker by himself.
Right.
If we do run a 4-3, because Walker's going to start inside linebacker. I don't think they're going to move him to outside.
Right.
I agree. This year wasn't as good for special teams. It was better the year before, so that's going to be interesting. Dixon played more corner. I think it burned him out a little bit.
I'm still a little unsure about our kicking game too. Yeah, that's.
I personally would bring in more competition other than the dude they just brought in. And this is why a lot of teams don't like to draft kickers. They get guys in free agency because now we're going to feel compelled to keep the guy. And he missed 13 kicks. And you can't have that be a question mark in the playoffs. It just burned us.
Yes.
That's the type of thing that can burn you. Look at, like, Baltimore didn't get a chance to prove it, but Justin Tucker is elite. The Chiefs have a good kicker. San Fran's got a good kicker. I know he missed a kick, but Robert's making a good point. We are going to be running more man. And 4-2-5, Robert, I said this earlier, we're going to have 4 down, 2 linebacker. We're going to have to get another corner or 2 because we're going to have, if I don't know about Nixon at corner, we'll see. But if we keep Alexander, we've got him, Valentine, and Ballantyne. And if you like Nixon, that's 4. So we need to draft 1 or 2 more corners for depth. And I expect 1 in the top 3 rounds, regardless of what happens with Alexander.
I like that 4-2. Yeah, okay.
So that's what's going to happen if we go to 4-3 because our linebackers suck, just being honest, in pass coverage, the guys that we have. Because I don't think Van Ness is more of a pass rusher. So,
okay.
I just don't know. There were so many guys out there. I'm trying to be optimistic, but
no, I think though the 4-3, if we do that, we're going to definitely have to pick up at least another corner and pick up another linebacker, like you said, in this draft to meet that need. I'm hoping though, if we can move to the 4-3 though, I'm hoping that'll at least maybe slow the leak of our run defense a little bit. I trust our corners in the back end. Especially if we keep, Alexander, all that kind of stuff. But we gotta stop. At least make them beat us through the air. I mean, because I'm so tired of getting gashed with the run. I just
for sure, absolutely. Janae says facts, more attacking style defense. That's what I want. I want us to be more aggressive.
Right.
This is going to be interesting, man. He started his NFL career. Tampa Bay defensive backs coach for 2 years.
Yep.
Browns defensive backs coach for 2 years.
Yep.
49ers DB coach for 3 years.
Yep.
Ohio State. Defensive coordinator and DB coach first season.
Yep.
And then Boston College head coach for the last 4 years.
Yep.
Rudy already said, I agree. He said he's up for getting free agency. He's up for going out in free agency, which, you know what? Let's talk it for a minute, and then we'll get into the other coaching stuff, and then we can close. What if we let Dylan go, restructured Aaron Jones, and what if we made a bold swing on a friendly deal for Derrick Henry?
Oh, I would get Derrick in a heartbeat.
Even at 30, I would do it. Him and Jones are they're 2 greats that I think have enough tread left, especially together.
Yes.
And then we could draft a kid in the 2nd or 3rd round. And if he's good, he could come up behind those 2 as they age out in a few seasons or 2 or 3 years.
Yep.
Man, that would take so much pressure off of Love.
Oh, yes.
Oh, man, I like it.
Oh, I in a heartbeat. I mean, I don't know if the Packers, like you said, we don't go in free agent that much, but if they won a Super Bowl and we were this close, I would go get Henry in a heartbeat, dude.
Janae cracked me up. We can't stop an old lady in a wheelchair sometimes. We need to be better.
Exactly. You hit it, Janae. Exactly.
Robert said we were taking back the North. It's going to be a fun year. And then Ben, he's from another show. He's going to be on the mock draft thing. He does Death Taxes and Sports. He said T. Higgins. Can you imagine if we go get T. Higgins? Michael Pittman or Michael Evans would be interesting. But T. Higgins with this receiving core, oh my goodness. You would have him, Dubs, freaking Wicks. You'd have Reed. You'd have, if Watson could stay healthy, you'd still have Bo Melton and Heath. That'd be stupid.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't. I'm done with Dylan. I'm out. I just don't like it. He's not enough of what I want as a complimentary back, even.
No.
He rarely steps up when we need him to start. He's not even the right. As strong as he is, he should be better, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree.
Jones proved it at the end of the year. Jones, after being injured all season, showed what an effective running game does for Love and for the offense and takes pressure off the defense.
I like that run like Eddie Lacy. I wish we had an Eddie Lacy,
man, I
dude.
wish. If you're going all in, get an established receiver, Higgins or Pittman,
Yep.
I would
Yep.
fork up $25 million a season for Higgins. I think
yes.
he's worth it. I wouldn't go to past 30, but if they could get him on a deal like 25 with like, let's say 4 years, 100 or 125, let's say we give him 50 mil guaranteed or 60, I would do it a heartbeat because he's going to make the rest of the receivers better. He's got strong enough hands. He's a possession receiver, but he also can go deep. Like we're going to have the cap space. Like Ben said, Ben's having fun. Ben and I came down, man. I like that we're friends on Facebook now. If you got this, so we do have the cap space. We have like 6 mil, but we're going to free up 21 by cutting Bakhtiari. And the other targets, here's the problem. We're going to have to restructure Jones. Alexander's at 23, and if we trade him or cut him, we lose 3. So they're only going to flip him for a high pick. Preston is an interesting one. We'd only save 2.5, but it would save us for the next couple of years too.
I would get rid of Preston Smith. I like him. He contributed, but no. I think we could get
Campbell. It would literally be Campbell would only save us 2.5 mil, but then also it's another situation where it'd save us for 2 more years. And I'm ready to move on from Campbell.
Well, personally. I think we need to get, like we said, if we go to the 4-3, we need linebackers that can cover. So,
I'm curious what's going to happen with Savage, especially after that pick 6. We're going to bring him back on a friendly deal. That one's interesting to me. Jenkins, we got to keep. So it's pretty much if we can free up some money from Clark, Bakhtiari, then they'll push some money in future years. I bet they'll get to like 40 or 50. That's my bet.
Yeah, I would think.
Higgins or Pittman, you got to pay up. Chewy's weak for as big as he is. I agree. Dylan doesn't run. He does not run like Eddie Lacy did in his prime.
No.
Imagine T or Pittman along with Dubs, Watson
and Reed. Oh, I know.
Reed, Wicks, who I think can start. Bone freaking Melton. Woo!
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I like it, man. Wicks. That's 5 receivers. Oh my gosh, we have a lot of comments. Bakhtiari needs to go. He gets hurt when he wears his cleats. He tore another ACL just from tying his shoes.
Just from tying his cleats, That
would be insane to have those 5 receivers, dude. And with our tight ends, with Kraft and Musgrave.
And Love Musgrave,
Dude, this team is stacked, man, if they do it. If they don't go get a free agent running back, a free agent receiver. Because I don't think we're going to be bold and trade up for a receiver. There are 3.
No.
But I don't think we're the team that's going to do that.
No.
I would rather keep Smith over Campbell. I agree. What do you think?
Okay. Smith over Campbell.
Let's say we keep. All right, let's play a quick game. Let's say we keep. You're gonna have to cut one.
Okay.
Keep one, and then we'll decide what to do with the third one. So between Preston, Campbell, I'm trying to think of another guy for money wise. We both agree on Bach. And Aaron Jones.
Okay.
Who'd you cut?
Who'd I cut? Oh, Campbell in a heartbeat.
Yeah, me too. I would restructure Jones, or if you can get him on a free. He's on his last year. While he'll be 30, and he's been injury prone. He's still important. They could just let this last year play out, or just ask him to take a pay cut. But after the way he ended the season, I don't know if he'll want to take a huge pay cut. But we got to get him down from 17.5. It's too much. So they could extend him. I don't see them cutting him. They could extend him or restructure him. I don't think they cut him. And Preston's interesting. I don't know. Because Van Ness is going to get playing time. But there's 2 positions open. So I don't know.
I think that with Aaron Jones, I mean, he's 30 now. He's getting up there. But he's still showing he can still pound it. Yeah, he's a little more injury prone now too. But I think if we can restructure his contract, make it maybe 3, maybe 4 years, stretch that money out a little bit more. I think he's still got 3 or 4 good more years yet in him, and get another back behind him to kind of alleviate. Yes, that's Yep.
Like a Derrick Henry. Or if they get a Henry, and like we did before, and we draft a young kid on a cheap deal to replace them when they age out. I think that's the way to go. Ben says he doesn't even get to his cleats. We got some comments. And then we're I know we were trying to
That's
keep it
awesome.
shorter, but we'll
Yeah.
we'll talk about the other coaching stuff in a second.
Okay.
Robert says, "Oh, we got some new
Uh-huh.
people on. Nice." But Robert
Nice.
says, "I don't think we need a free." He said this on Frozen Tundra, and
Okay.
I'm not going to be mad if they don't get a receiver. So I
Yeah.
like it. He says we don't need a free receiver, a free agent
Right.
receiver. We have a great young core. Add some
Mhm.
depth from the draft. We need a free agent linebacker, or DB, or pass rusher. I personally, if they
Yeah.
do spend in free agency, I do want it to be on defense or running back. But if they
Yes.
get bold, I'm not going to get upset.
Oh.
Eli Dunn, new listener. Thanks for being on
Hey.
the Fun Football Podcast, man.
Okay.
Pittman seems like a Packer to me.
Okay.
He kind of does, actually. Kind of feels like a Packer.
Okay. Okay.
I like Pittman, too. I know I just love Higgins.
Yeah.
Gets hurt sitting on the couch while someone else tying his shoes. He's talking about Bakhtiari. Don't miss my joke.
Don't miss my joke, Bill. I
Do you
laugh
think
out
the
loud. I
Packers
love
have a
it.
shot to win their division? I do. Well, as good
Yes.
as Detroit is,
Yep.
I think if this offense collectively, like it did at the last, I think it was last 9 games, including the playoffs, or 10,
Yeah.
they were third in EPA, and in a lot of metrics they were like top 5. And I think that's where we're going if we can have a consistent run game. And that's going to take a multitude of running backs, and one of them is
Yeah.
not Dylan.
Well, and here's the thing. You saw the beginning of the year. Our offense looked like it was horrible.
Man.
I mean, it was struggling like you wouldn't believe.
We were calling each other. We were like, we suck. We should lose.
Dude. But then the second half, especially the last 6-7 games, they just started clicking, man. I mean, they look like an old machine. And you know what? It's only going to get better, guys. I mean, Jordan, as long as he works.
73, Bill.
It's, yeah.
The defense is the key. If the defense can take a step forward through the season, we can't be 22nd. We cannot be 24th like we were. It just doesn't cut it. And I personally, I know the Frozen Tundra guys disagree. I don't put all the blame on Barry. Some of it's some of our players. So we're going to find out which guys have it this year. It's going to be interesting. We got some more comments. Keep Smith and cut Campbell. I agree. Facts, if you had to do one. With the receivers you got, it makes sense to have guys on rookie deals and don't spend on receiver. I agree with Ben.
Bingo.
The best teams maximize their talent while that talent is on rookie contracts. And Love is only on a $13 million. It's just under cap hit this year.
Yes.
This is the year to go spend like we did with Favre and Rodgers when they were young. Go get that stud on D, because while I like Gary and Clark, we need a difference maker. It's time to go big game hunting. Maybe even we flip Alexander. Ooh,
can we get a young Clay Matthews?
Are the Raiders dumb enough to give up Max Crosby? Is a Khalil Mack available? Ooh, that's the type of guys we got to get. The difference makers, that there are only a few in the NFL. And I'm sorry, I like Gary. He can be explosive, but we just don't quite have that guy right now. Alexander, when he's locked in, is probably our closest guy. Actually. But that's just, far and in between. Okay, more comments.
We need another Clay Matthews.
Dude,
we need another Clay Matthews.
Collins, when he was in his prime there. We had a ton of guys on D. Oh my gosh. Ben brought up an Atlanta comment. I'm going to get to it. Okay, if everyone connects on both sides of the ball, we can take the whole thing. I think we could be a Super Bowl contender I'm not sure about next season, I'm hoping, but I think it's building that way. Ben says, why is friggin' Atlanta so laughable, wasting their first 3 picks? London, Pitts, Bijan. And then they didn't get a quarterback or offensive line. So I agree with them. We need some to score on both sides of the ball. I agree. Eli says, well, they just need to stay healthy for most of the year and they'll have an incredible run. We were hurt and we still did this.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and
good
we
point.
got a lot of comments. It's good. I like it. It adds to the show.
Yeah.
When Hapley will bring a discipline to the defense, we won't be missing tackles. That hurt us early in the season. And against McCaffrey at the end of the game, it burned us. We got to have a run D to fall back on. Concerned with Aaron Jones' injuries, I agree. Walker's Clay Matthew, but meaner. I'm hoping Van Ness is the guy that resembles Clay Matthew.
I hope.
We need Walker to be a stout inside linebacker for us that helps stop the run. That's what we need. Julius Peppers, he was huge. And then Smith goes to the Steelers as OC. He did. If I'm a Steelers fan, I'm pissed. And then friggin' Matt Canada to Arthur Smith. Okay. I know we're at almost an hour, but I'm having fun. I've got two more things if you're up for it.
Got it.
I'd like to talk the other coaches really quick, and then if you're game, we'll do a top 10 quarterback pick, and then we'll be done.
Oh,
Sound
wow.
good?
Okay.
And
All
then,
right.
guys, I'm going to be on Blitz tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time, unless something changes. I'm going to be on there with Med, Pete, and we actually need a fourth. So Ben, if you're available, that'd be fun. If you're free, I'd love to cut it up with you. It's been a long time coming, man. If Aaron Jones stays, I agree, man. Look at our
Oh,
team the last
yeah.
5 games, 5
Yeah.
100-yard games, and we won 4 of them, and we almost beat freaking San Fran.
Yep.
It was
That's
difference making. It takes pressure
Yep.
off Love. We
The
get
run
play
game.
action, keeps our defense off the field, and he's
Yep.
special when he's right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this teases our next thing.
Dan
What do you think
Quinn.
about Mr. Dan Quinn, the new Washington Commanders coach?
Commanders. Yep.
Woo! Love it. Do the Cowboys miss him? So Ben was going to come on. He wasn't able to. He's the Cowboys fan. So this is great, though, because I was going to talk it.
That's
I think
hilarious.
it's a huge loss for Dallas. I really do.
By far. Yeah.
But
Dallas is.
But I agree with Robert. It didn't really make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like they got rid of Rivera for another defensive guy? Do you think, and after the way Quinn, his defense just got destroyed by Green Bay, do you think, no, tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, so early in the day, because Med's got something that tomorrow night, Ben. So I'll message you after if you're free. It's an early, like, midday show. We'll do like an hour like this one. We're going to just do Super Bowl preview and some other fun stuff on Blitz. So let me know. It'd be fun. We like to have 4. Do you think he lasts more than 3 seasons there in Washington with that roster? That's a tough roster. They suck.
Yeah,
they don't have a quarterback.
They're gonna have to do some overall on the roster, but
that was. I'm gonna bet that Belichick, if he'd been offered that job, he wouldn't even wanted it.
No,
that was the least desirable job. I think Belichick actually was screwing with Atlanta too. I think he's waiting. I talked this on Blitz. I think Belichick and maybe even Vrabel at this point, but especially Belichick and maybe Carroll if he really wants to coach. They're waiting for next year when Dallas, sorry, Ben, you're going to hate me, when Dallas flames out again in the playoffs, when Philly flames out in the playoffs, when the Giants suck again, and I don't know about one season, but the whole NFC might be open for coaching.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because McCarthy's on the last year of his deal, and Sirianni was on the hot seat after Philly fell apart. Maybe Kellen Moore does wonders for them like he did for Dallas, but maybe not.
And then he goes.
Kind of does suck. And I'm not sure what hurts. Like, I like him, but A.J. Brown's and trade rumors, I don't know, man. I think the arrow's pointing down for those 2 teams.
Yep. Well, and it gives Belichick more options too. So interesting.
He just goes and so Pete, he's a Patriots guy, huge Patriots guy.
Yeah.
And he was on Tuesday, and he's been on once before, and he filled in for me on Blitz when I was after my ass popped. And he was saying that Belichick needed to go interview to still get Kraft's money. It's part of, like, after you get fired, you have to look for work, even though it's still unemployment. Okay. You have to, try interviews.
Got it.
But that's why he was pushing for the GM thing so hard. And I don't think he really wanted Atlanta's job. And now he'll go be on Fox with Tom Brady for a year and then come back with a better job.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Gary has already talked it.
Okay.
Well, I got to see Ben's thoughts. If he can stay healthy, he doesn't have to carry the backs. My husband does. Yeah, talk it and comment after. I'll wait to share my thoughts on Quinn. Okay. Oh, Chris, hey, from work. It will not help the Commanders at all. I agree. I think they're in a world of hurt. They are one of the worst defenses in the NFL, and I don't think Dan Quinn's going to save that.
No.
I don't think so. I got a serious question. Hold on.
Okay.
What is Bill Belichick doing? I think, like I just said, I think that he's waiting for better jobs for next year. And I think that Jerry might be the guy that relinquishes the GM thing. Jerry might be like, save me in the Cowboys. I need someone. I'm going to give the reins over to the winningest coach in NFL history, one of the most winningest, 6 Super Bowls, Mr. Bill Belichick, and let him be GM.
Yep.
And Belichick will eat it up, and Cowboys fans will eat it up. And we'll find out if Belichick still has it, because I think the coach does, but not the GM.
Well, you remember when Jimmy Johnson, right, came in, him and Jerry, Johnson said, you know what, Jerry, step aside, let me do this. You want a Super Bowl? Let me do my thing. He did his thing. What the result? Super Bowls. So if Jerry wants to win a Super Bowl, and anytime soon, he's going to need to take a move like that and step aside and quit being Coach Jerry. So
and GM Jerry,
yeah.
He's just not a good enough GM.
Yeah,
he doesn't fill the rest of the roster holes like great GMs do. Like look at the Chiefs in the draft last year. That's why they won the Super Bowl. The Lions were good this year because they landed on Gibbs. These all rookies. Gibbs, Laporta, Branch, actually pretty solid too, and Campbell. They had 4 stud rookies starting, making an impact. The Packers were good this year because we landed some big picks in the draft, and it paid dividends as our team started to gel. Jerry has missed on several draft picks recently, and they're a team driven on stars. And when your stars don't show up in the playoffs, you're screwed.
Yep. Exactly.
So, okay, let's look to comments, and then there's a couple other little coaching things, and then if we have time, we can do the top 10. If not, we'll do it next week. It's no big deal. I wanted it for the graphic to put online because Pete's going to make it. But, okay, Ben says, I'll say this. Quinn did a great job with the defense. That defense was awful before him. In Dallas, I agree. So Quinn
he turned
did
around.
turn around. He did a great job. But the defense wasn't good consistently against the good teams.
Right.
Like against Buffalo, like against San Fran, like in the playoff game against us.
Right. And that's when you need the money. The money has to be on the big games. I mean, you can play great against average to below average teams, but when you play the better teams, you got to find a way to scheme it up, man. So, yep.
I agree. I was really disappointed with, honestly, as bad as Dak played in the first half and Lamb, I think freaking Dan Quinn actually disappointed me the most because that defense looked so ill prepared in that game. I was shocked against Green Bay. Okay, let's get to the rest of these. Robert, these coaches are waiting for Andy Reid to retire. I wonder if Spagnuolo, I know he's getting up there too, but I wonder if he's waiting to take over the KC job because he's got a lot of toys there to play with that Chiefs team. Maybe because I think Reid is getting close, especially if they win this one. Retire with 3.
He'll retire. Yeah,
it's hard to walk away from Mahomes though. Run defense was a weakness for all 3 years. Part of his roster construction, but part of it has to be Quinn. I agree. This is going to be interesting. It really is. We destroyed Quinn's defense. They couldn't sniff love. I agree. Belichick, Vrabel, or Carroll will be Dallas's head coach next year. One of them. I agree. Ooh. He would love any of those 3. Jerry would.
I could see Carroll even. Yeah, that's my opinion.
Vrabel, I thought he would surprise this free agency. Some teams made some interesting moves. Yeah, man, I don't know. I can see that. Question: do you think the Falcons will do some damage? No, not unless they get their quarterback.
No.
They've got to get. I gotta look at the draft order. What's the?
They're like
the Falcons pick. Let me look.
5th or 6th.
Bears get the top pick. We're 25. Packers are. Yeah. Atlanta is 8.
Oh, 8. Okay.
It really comes down to me if they get a quarterback, because if they don't, they're just going to keep just flapping in the wind here. They're not going to.
And when we talk the draft,
they've got to get somebody solid, because Ritter and Heineke are not it.
Well, will they trade for a quarterback? Maybe.
Ooh, will they trade for Justin Fields?
That's right. A Fields or
a Russell Wilson.
I mean, that's
I wouldn't touch, but
no, but it would be an upgrade. I don't know.
That's a good way to look at it. It would be an upgrade. Yeah. Like there are levels to this. Like I crap on Dak, but it's only because he was an MVP candidate and he crapped the bed in the playoffs. He did. I don't care if he threw for 400 yards. 300 of those were garbage time, and he threw 2 picks and he threw a pick 6, another pick, and he almost had a third one in one half, and didn't score till 2 seconds left in the first half. That's not showing up. That was
no.
His defense was terrible too, but that pick 6 was backbreaking. So, Janae, Bill is playing with people. I kind of think so. Belichick is smart. He knows Jerry Jones won't mind his business. So will we miss him, Quinn? I think it's possible. But I got to read this. But the run defense was trash all 3 seasons. It was. And the defense was amazing against weaker teams. It was the Cowboys are great at stat padding, but basically average against good teams or below even. The stats were inflated by their performance against horrible teams. And that's what the Cowboys do. They just crap on these like Washington, like the Giants. And then it makes them look great, and they're not. They're not.
And that's 4 games right there out of the
hey,
year.
Robert, I can't throw your curse comment in. I've got some teachers and students watching. I expand out on 2 more comments. Very true. You have to stop the big dogs during big games, period. Man, we got a lot of comments.
Yeah.
Dallas played man coverage on defense the most. Ooh, this is interesting. He knows his Cowboy stuff. The most or highest percentage in the playoffs. Then in the playoffs, played Arizona against the Packers. Made no freaking sense. No.
Wow.
Number 8. The Falcons don't want Fields.
Okay.
I don't know, Robert. They may. He would be an upgrade for them. Atlanta should pursue Fields. I agree. Bears, Fields. Now, let's not even talk about the Panthers. They are about to equivalent to the A's. Oh, he was awful. Dak fourth quarter stats were meaningless. 48-16 with 8 minutes left. And it was. It didn't matter. I hope the Bears keep him. Guarantee another season of sweeping them bums.
The Bears.
Okay.
Oh, man. Wow. That's funny. That's funny.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Bill, I got to say thanks for hopping on, man. Did you want to talk the other coaches that got hired?
I guess we could if you want. I mean, where do you want to start at?
Okay, so what do you think about Pierce? I liked it. Getting the job in Las Vegas. I almost said Oakland. I liked it for them. These interim things don't work out very often, but I liked it. I thought it was good.
Well, I guess
I thought he did well with the team, and they seemed to respond to him in such a way that they had to do it, in my opinion.
And I guess you're right. Like you said, interim coach. He already knows the players. They've been kind of. I would give him a shot at least. What do you got to lose? I mean, they already kind of built a little rapport. See what you got. Give him a year or 2, and if it doesn't work out, then you look for another head coach. I mean,
what did you think about Harbaugh getting the Chargers job?
I think Chargers made a great move right there. I think that
whatever you want.
I like Harbaugh. I liked him in college, and I think it's going to be a different transition, But I think he'll bring some juice to that Chargers team. I think so.
I agree. So we talked Dan Quinn. Okay, Mike McDonald for the Seahawks. What'd you make of that? Former Baltimore Ravens defensive coordinator, and to be honest, he's not why they lost that Ravens game.
No,
he kept him in it.
He
had a good D.
They're gonna. I guess if they become more defensive minded, I think it'll be a good move. I just don't know if they. I can't remember. Is he a 3-4 or 4-3 guy? I forget.
I think 3-4.
Okay, 3-4.
Let me look. The Ravens won a 3-4. I thought it was 3-4.
While you're looking at, I'm thinking it'd probably be a good move. It's just the fact.
3-4.
3-4.
Which,
okay.
Honestly, I like if you got the right personnel. I've always liked 3-4 4-3. Personally, I think it gives more flexibility, especially in pass coverage. We just. I think everyone wants us to change because we've sucked so bad against the run for so many years now.
Yes.
I almost think it feels like it's needed, but I think if they use the personnel better, we don't actually need to go to 4-3. I think we should need to utilize our personnel better and get some better personnel because I don't think our defense is elite as presented, even with the right defensive coordinator. I just don't see it. I think
that's what I was just going to say.
Better, but it's not elite.
No.
So 3-4 guy going into Seattle to rebuild that defense after they stepped down from Carroll after a long tenure. It's going to be interesting.
That's
only 36.
I like Carroll.
One of the youngest head coaches. They were number 1 in defense this season in points allowed, sacks, and takeaways. Baltimore.
That's pretty good.
He's not why they lost that game. I know they got thrown, they got beat down early, but they only gave up 17.
Yeah,
not bad. Atlanta, Raheem Morris. No, he was their interim and he was 4-7. Like he
Yeah.
did do well with the Rams, but I think that was a bad move in my opinion. But maybe he'll prove me wrong. I think it was Eli asking about it. I don't see it. So I don't
Yeah.
think so. I don't think so. Kirk Cousins is going where I didn't even thought about that one. You think
Yeah.
I don't think Minnesota resigns him for a big deal. Do you?
No.
I don't see it. That's an
Do you
interesting
think
one.
he'll
That's
Cousins
why
though?
it's going to be hard to take a long break because there's going to be a bunch of free agency stuff that happens,
True.
which sucks. So I got to come back in March. And it's fun too, man.
Oh yeah, Cousins. I can see because he wants to start still. I can't see him being a backup.
No.
But if he would accept a backup role,
What
dude,
if-
Packers would sign him as a backup, man. But
what if Kirk Cousins goes to Atlanta?
ooh, I think that instantly upgrades Atlanta right there, big time.
What if Kirk
Big time.
Cousins goes to New England?
I would say that'd probably be an upgrade there too.
Atlanta
Yeah,
would be the one I'd want to go to because they got a defense and you got Bajan and Algier and you got Drake London and Pitts. All you need to do is build up that offensive line. They're a quarterback short. The Jets aren't going to move on from Rodgers. The Atlanta's the prime spot, in my opinion, for a quarterback to go to free agency. Because I think the Bucs are going to be smart and re-sign Baker. And hopefully it works on the right deal. But I would not if I were the Vikings, I would not give him like $45 million a year. But I mean, what else are they going to do? They need to re-sign Jefferson, so they're kind of in a hard rock. Dobbs is not it. They either going to have to draft a kid or go with Cousins. No. I don't know.
Yeah,
off an ACL it's tricky. It really is.
It is. Yep.
Okay, let's talk the last couple. Canals. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. Canales for the Panthers. The Bucs offensive coordinator who rejuvenated that offense got that head coaching job. That one was a surprise. I didn't expect it. And he's got his work cut out for him. This was the sucky job, but at least the defense is there. So if he can rebuild that offense, that's a tough one.
That's a tough one. And at least, like you said, at least the defense, again, if you can go and if you have a solid defense you can lean on, that helps your offense so much because then you can maybe try to instill some things and, you might be conservative first on offense, but at least, you can lean on a defense to keep you in games, that kind of thing. So we'll see. I don't know. That's going to be interesting too.
I know Robert crapped on Fields and I get it, but for Atlanta, that is a huge upgrade because Fields was way better than anything they had, even if it's mostly running. Let's get to these comments. That was smart for him to, for Harbaugh. Yeah, I agree. Dalvin Cook is with the Ravens. Yes, he is. That's going to be interesting to see if he does anything there. Okay, we talked the Chargers job. What about Kellen Moore going to Philly? Did you like that?
I'm kind of mixed on that, but I think it's going to be good. I think it'll be good.
That's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah.
No, Green Bay will not sign that bump. Kirk Cousins. The Titans did something curious. They fired Vrabel, who I loved, and they got Brian Callahan, who was the Bengals offensive coordinator. Who, I mean, they've been good, but I don't know. That's an interesting move to me because I really liked Vrabel. So
I love Vrabel. Yeah, I think he's a great coach.
Did good with the Bengals prior to this season, and this year they had a ton of injuries. They didn't just have Burrow out. Chase was hurt. I don't know. That one's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
The Titans, I think, are going to be one of the bottom feeders in the league, unless Will Levis is good. So.
Yeah. It's still going to,
Okay,
they got used there.
And then I liked the Jared Mayo one, but I just don't know because you're following up Belichick. So that's going to be hard.
That's tough. That's a tough hole to fill. Very tough.
I know we hit these kind of quick. I'll do more in the free agency stuff.
That's fine.
She's curious about him going to Philly. I agree. Kirk going to the Panthers. Kirk Cousins. He's going to go play with Adam Thielen in Carolina. MVP thoughts.
Hey, now that
I love it. I don't think those were connected, but the Kirk to the Panthers was great. I love it.
That would be
that was funny. I don't know how Mayo's going to do in New England. That is such a terrible offensive situation. Like they're going to need a receiver, maybe two. I don't quite.
It's going to be a while.
I think the receivers suck. but
they're gonna, yeah.
they need the good thing for them is they got a D at least. And
Yes.
maybe Mayo knows D, but he's going to have to get himself a quarterback if they're going to figure that out and then rebuild that offense quick. It's not easy to do. So
No.
Where do you think the Cowboys go with defensive coordinator? Do you think they call up Vrabel? I'm going to look and see who they've interviewed. But now that they lost Mr. Quinn.
Who have they interviewed so far? You know what, Jerry? I'm thinking if I'm going to be Jerry Jones here for right now, right? Okay.
Hey, Jerry. Bill.
I'm going to be Jerry.
Sorry, not Bill. Jerry.
I haven't won a Super Bowl
defensive coordinator search.
I haven't won a Super Bowl in how many years now? I forget.
Almost 30, 28.
I want to win a Super Bowl before I die again. I'm going to go out and I'm going to get the best defensive mind out there. And I think he's going to spend some money. I think he's going to go get the best out there.
So Brandon Staley, who was an option I thought for the Packers. Vrabel, who I thought was an option for the Packers.
I was going to say Vrabel,
they have Al Harris as their DB coach. I actually think he's an option to get promoted.
Okay.
If they think he's ready. Mike Zimmer, who was an option for the Packers. All these are options for the Packers, mind you. You know, hopefully Halfley's good. I don't know. Ron Rivera. That would be interesting.
Oh, yeah.
I think that would work. And he's not going to do it. But Belichick, if they were to throw him $10 million a year, I still don't think he'd do it. I still don't think so. He'd want to be the head coach, so I don't see it. But on their staff, they got Al Harris and they got Joe Witt, who is the passing game coordinator. I don't know.
Sensitive. Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. I like that. That's hilarious.
All right, well, we went a little longer than I thought. If you were game for our graphic, we're going to end on top 10 quarterbacks, and then we'll be back. Bill, if you're game next Friday, I say we do it around the same time. If you're good.
Okay. All right.
That'll be our Super Bowl preview.
I know, right?
We'll have a whole Super Bowl thing, Super Bowl commercials, Super Bowl food, Super Bowl halftime show, the singers, all the matchups. I want to break it down like
how many times we're gonna see what's her name, Taylor Swift, all that.
Oh man, especially that she's there and not performing. They're gonna be like, Taylor, please come sing one song. We'll pay you X amount of money. They would for the first time ever, I bet the NFL would consider paying somebody to perform because they never do.
Probably. Yeah.
Janae, you wanna that would be fun. We've talked about having people, so something me and Bill are talking about.
Yep.
And me and Bill we gotta figure this out because this is I bring other people on, but this is our baby. So we've talked about having people come on for the second part of the show, kind of like Frozen Thunder does. Yeah. So we'll talk about it, but I'd be game for next week.
Okay.
Taylor, get off my. I'm really sad that Usher's the halftime show. While he has some songs. It's been like 15 years. Like there were so many. They had to get Taylor, but I don't think she wanted to do it. So
no.
So okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Bill. I don't know what graphics or like what stats you need. We're going to do our top 10 quarterbacks, and I'm writing yours down.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Currently, we did an all-time list on Blitz. We'll do that sometime soon. That's fun, too. Because I was arguing I thought Favre was top 10 all-time ever.
So are we doing from this year or all-time or what?
I'd say take injuries out that happened this year, and who would you want if you were going forward as a GM? Now that's going to be tough because you're going to have guys like Stafford who are still really good. Not top 5, but Stafford is still pretty good. So let's talk. Man. Like you're the GM. Who you drafting for your team? Like, because Love was in my top 10, but not my top 5.
Okay.
And he actually made both. I think everybody else's top. I think he made 3 of the 4 top 10s.
So am I basing this on stats or just my feeling or what? What do you think?
I did it based on my feeling because like Dak Prescott was a top 3 MVP guy, but he's not in my top 3. Okay. Like I got Mahomes number 1.
I would
in my opinion.
I was going to say Mahomes. I was going to say my number 1 there too. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. I like.
So we both
He's
have
young.
Mahomes. And you know
He's
what? I've
young.
had some time to
What?
think on this. And I'm
Okay.
still going to
Yeah.
go Allen number 2 because I'm a little concerned about Burrow's injury history. So I'm going to go Allen number 2.
Really?
Yeah.
I like Allen, but I don't put him as a number 2 though. I haven't
What do you
really
got?
thought of like this. You have. You're probably gonna shoot me, but I still like Lamar. I like
Okay.
Lamar
No,
Jackson.
man. It's your list. Make your list.
I like Jackson still. I mean,
Okay. I
yes,
got
he's
Burrow number 3. So I've got Mahomes, Allen, and Burrow. Dude, I can't put Eli. I can't put Josh Allen number 1 when he hasn't beaten Mahomes in the playoffs. And I know it's more than just quarterbacks, but Mahomes is it.
yeah, Mahomes,
For me.
Jackson. I'll go Mahomes, Jackson, and
You got a lot of choices. I'm pulling up some lists for you. Hold on.
yeah, I do have a lot.
So
I'm trying to
I'll
think.
throw names at you, okay?
All right,
You got Mac Jones for the Patriots.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I got Mahomes, Allen, and Burrow. You got a Lamar Jackson. I had CJ Stroud up there, but you've got I'm trying to think of all the guys. You got Dak. You've got Purdy. You got Hurts. All the guys in the NFC. You got Jordan Love. You've got Stafford. You got Goff. You've got
I like Hurts.
in the AFC. Hurts at number 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Hurts. Just yeah, Philadelphia didn't make, but he's so crucial to Philadelphia. You take Hurts out, and Philadelphia isn't Philadelphia. I think he's that crucial to that organization.
Okay, so number 1, we both had Mahomes. Then I had Josh Allen. You had Jackson. I have Burrow. You have Hurts. I'm gonna go Jackson number 4. Who's your number 4?
I'm gonna go Allen number 4.
Okay, I like it. I'm going Stroud 5.
I'm torn between 5th and 6th. For him.
You still got Burrow.
I know that's what I was
here,
thinking.
but I'm thinking future, like moving forward.
I'm thinking Burrow number 5. Yeah.
Okay, Burrow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. This is currently because the whole argument was that Justin Herbert isn't top 5. That's how they started. And he's not for me, and it wasn't for either of us. But I'm gonna go. I can't remember what I did in my list last night, but having some time to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a second. I gotta think on this one. I'm a little torn here. On a couple guys.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Stafford 6.
Stafford 6. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Stroud at 6. I'll take Stroud at 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm changing from my list last night, but this is good because I've had some time to think on it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Purdy 7.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what?
That's a little higher than I had him on my other list, but I thought on it some more.
I'm gonna say Stafford at 7 for me.
Okay. I'm gonna go Jordan Love number 8.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
See, that's where he made my other list.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm thinking
Bryce Young,
probably
number
top
1.
Yeah.
Love it.
No.
That's great.
Bryce Young number 1. Man, that's tough. I'm gonna say Purdy for number 8.
Okay. I had to plug my phone in. It's dying. Okay. You got Purdy at number 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm trying to debate between a couple more guys. I'm trying to get this list as good as I can.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I have Love as
in my Hurts number 9.
Okay.
Wow, dude. Herbert didn't make this list, and the more I thought about it, this is kind of how I really feel.
Yeah, I already got Hurts. So
I know, but I don't have Herbert on my list, and I'm remaking it because I had some time to think
really?
on it at work, and I
did you have it on your
on
your other list?
My top 10 on my other one, and I'm debating if he's going to make this one.
I'm gonna say Love at number 9.
Okay, I'm gonna give it to Herbert over Dak because I wouldn't have Dak on mine. So now that I'm rethinking it, I'm gonna put Herbert at 10.
And I'm gonna put Herbert at 10 as well. I'll agree with you on that one.
Let me recap and see if you like it, and then we'll do our sign off. I forgot. I got to start to remember to say thank you to Shady at the beginning.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes.
So we got And the Podcast Boys, our new network, if anyone's
Yes.
up for joining, they got a show and they want to join, we've got 3 shows on our network and we're looking to add more. Okay, so I got Mahomes 1, you got Mahomes 1.
Yes.
I've got Allen 2, you got Jackson 2.
Yep.
I've got Burrow 3, you got Hurts 3.
Yep.
I've got Jackson 4, you got Allen 4.
Yep.
I've got Stroud 5, you got Burrow 5.
Yes.
I've got Stafford 6, you've got Stroud 6. I like your list,
Right.
man. I got Purdy 7, you got Stafford 7.
Yep.
I've got Jordan Love 8, you got Brock Purdy 8.
Yep.
I've got Hurts 9, you've got Love 9.
Yep.
We got the same 10. I don't think there's any that made it on one that didn't make it on the other. I've got Herbert 10, you got Herbert 10.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah.
All right, people, we're going to wrap it in under an hour and a half. I've got a couple more things. I got to say thank you for over 1,000 views, 2 straight episodes, and let's see if we can make it 3. That means the world, especially after the hardest loss I've ever had.
Yeah.
Been divorced. That was insanely tough. But of people that have died in my lifetime, I'm 35 years old. This is the hardest loss I've had. And now I feel like I've joined the Dead Parents Club. And I have. So it's hard. Because I would have called her about this. But she'd want me to be happy, so I'm going to do my best. And it's been tough, but good to know that I've got some good friends that mean a lot, like you and people in Arizona, some family. And I've got the best wife I could ask for, and a kiddo that's great. So, and a good job finally. So I've got a lot of good things to fall back on. It's just all I really wanted was more time because she was finally happy to share the good stuff because we both were the last year for the two of us has been much better. So thank you, Janae. I appreciate it. I had to say something about her because the fact that people rallied, it felt like people rallied for me, and it means a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Well, and
no worries, dude, about last week. That was a cool thing with your wife. It actually worked out great because I got to do a show with Lynn, which I'd wanted to do, and it worked better than I could have imagined. Like, we flowed. We have chemistry. We're married, but she knows her football. Like, she's good.
She probably knows more than I do. And here's the thing. No, that's good, man. That's good.
You know your football, dude. Hey, don't sell, dude. This show wouldn't be nearly as good if you weren't on it. I talk a lot, but dude, you people have said we've got good chemistry. That's why
we do.
That's why I want our pick'ems to continue. And
absolutely,
the other cool thing is, transitions. You know how to play off, like bounce off me.
Yep.
God bless you. Thanks, Eli, man. I appreciate that. Janae says, I got your pack. Go back, go. Okay, so future things for the Fun Football Pot. We're going to be back with a Super Bowl pick of me and Bill next week. I may have a second show. Bill, I don't want to overburden you. If anybody reaches out, because I ran a contest, if you want to join too, I may do a second show next week while the wife's gone, possibly on Tuesday before after Blitz. I was on a really cool show with another special ed teacher and some people with special needs. On Wednesday, it's called Talking Packers with Steve. I'll be back on there on the 13th. I'm pretty excited. That was a lot of fun. Yeah. There was a dude who writes for the Chiefs that was on there.
Oh, wow. That's
Insider,
awesome.
And he was
That's
good.
awesome.
Yeah, it was
That's
fun.
Cool.
That's really cool, dude. I was like, because I would love to make this like a thing on the side that I love it being a hobby, but if it were to make money, that'd be fantastic. But my hope is just that it keeps getting more viewers. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I want to say thanks to all the listeners. Thanks to Bill. Blitz will be on tomorrow. I'm very excited. Bill, if before the season wraps, if you want to, I'd love to have you and Matt on a show together. And if Seth's available, it'd be a lot of fun. He's a really cool dude. I think I like him a lot.
Cool. All right. Sounds good.
And I think that's it. I'm going to be on. I got to get the right name. Hold on. I'm going to be on the show tomorrow. Got so much stuff going on. American Football Network. It's going to be an audio only show. It's going to be really cool. Tomorrow night before, and I might hop on Frozen Tundra, and then he's going to do a big panel Super Bowl preview on Sunday. I'm trying to keep myself busy while the wife's gone because she's gone for a week. So yeah.
Gotcha.
You keep going. You're going to get your blessings. Thanks, Janae.
Yeah.
Thanks for hopping on Blitz too. That was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you to Shady Sports Network for having this awesome our show that I love on, and Blitz for welcoming. Both shows are on Shady Sports Network, and our new network, Podcast Boys Network, has Shots from the Sideline. This show, Fun Football, which is going to keep going, and Blitz. So we've got 3 awesome shows on there, and I'm hoping we can get more. My hope is we get 10 on our own network, because I think it's just going to make everybody, their shows get bigger. So my
That's
is over. Bill, what do you think of Jeff Halfley?
We're gonna find out, my friend. We're gonna find out real soon, I guess. We'll see.
Dude.
I hope. I really do.
Oh,
I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I'm thinking with LaFleur. Hopefully, they can get their minds on the same page and make this thing work. I just want to see this defense stop the run. I
hope so, man. That's my hope. Like, I don't want to see the pass defense struggle because of it, but I want to see it stop the run. It's important.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Well, I went a little longer than I want, but we kept it about an hour and a half. I hope I hope y'all had fun. We would love comments. We had a lot on the show. If you have any other ideas, I've got a new email.
Thank you, Janae.
Yeah. For funfootballpodcast@gmail.com. You can see me on Shady tomorrow morning. Well, early afternoon on Blitz. We'll be back for another Fun Football Podcast episode next week, and then a Super Bowl recap. And then we're going to take a little hiatus. We'll hit episode 40 probably, and then take a little hiatus for a few weeks. And then we'll be back for some free agency and draft stuff. So, Eli, thank you for listening. Janae, JB, I'm going to give names. Go check out Big. Go check out JB's show. I can't say the words right now. I know his show. But NFL Data, who keeps hopping on here, not this one, but in general, they've been on here. Ben Holloway does Death Taxes and Sports. Go check out his show. I'm going to give some shout outs. Janae on Frozen Thunder Network. She's awesome on there, and she's been on here. Who else? Robert on Frozen Thunder Network. My dad, he's been on here before. Who else? Yep. My students who hopped on. My other teacher, Chris. Everybody that's hopped on. It means a lot, because if nobody was watching a live show, that would kind of suck. So thank you. And
thank you, guys.
Bill, we have done, I know you weren't on every one of them, but we've done like 30 of these together.
Wow. That's awesome, man.
We're going to win more picks next year. I'm just telling you.
Yes, we are.
Oh, hey, one last thing.
Yeah, what?
We're thinking about doing, I'm going to talk to Matt about it. I don't know if he wants to. We're going to talk about it. Yeah. But I had a cool idea, if you're game.
Okay.
I'm thinking we're going to do at the beginning of August, when football starts back up, we're thinking about doing an all-time fantasy football draft, like Jerry Rice, Barry Sanders, for fun. Rainbow football kicks back off. Then, if you're game, and I would make it not super expensive, we could do it for $10. I don't care.
Yeah, whatever.
10 guys, because I can do 10 on here now.
Okay.
Which is cool. I kept this one. This is my baby, so it's just the 2 of us.
Right.
Dude, thanks, Eli. We're thinking about doing a fantasy football live stream show, and that'll be a new league with 10 people.
Oh, wow. All right.
My dad, I think, will do it. I think I know some fancy dudes on Twitter. I don't think I'm going to have problems finding 10. I really don't.
No. Yeah,
but I want everybody, I want to do it on here, and we live stream the draft, and we do a draft on here.
Oh, that'll be fun. Right? Okay. All right.
I get first pick. We should do it.
I'm taking Walter Payton.
So, if you're interested, hit me up. I'm going to reach out to some people, so I'll let y'all know how many open slots we've got. And there's going to be more contests to come. I don't have a lot of money to throw out, or like prizes, but I think some contests are going to help bump up views like I did. So I said, if you help us hit 2,000, in which we've got over. Ooh, Eli wants in. Nice.
Okay.
I think, but seriously, if Med is in, we got my dad. That's 3. I don't think we're gonna have problems getting 10. I really don't.
No.
That's down the line. That's 6 months away in August. Okay. But I'm thinking over Labor Day weekend, we do a live stream draft, and that's our new league too. And
so I get Walter Payton.
So we do the all-time fantasy draft. That was Med's idea. We do that one for fun, and then we do a month later. We do one for this upcoming season. You could pick Jordan Love or whatever.
So I get. So is it current players or past players or both?
We were thinking we do 2. We were thinking we do a fun one like at the
Okay.
end of summer before football kicks back off, like in late
Okay.
July, early August. We do
All right.
Jerry Rice, Barry Sanders. We do a fun one. I
All
don't know how
right.
we would do prizes,
Yeah.
but we just do a
Okay.
fun one just for the fun of it.
All right.
Maybe like because
Yeah.
we're on the Hall of Fame game. That would be cool
Okay.
because it's like a Hall of Fame draft. You could pick
Got it.
guys now. If you want Mahomes, you could take them.
Yeah.
But that was
Okay.
just for fun. For fun, we could have fans vote on who won, and
Okay.
it'd be cool to stack up our rosters. Like we could pull stats from their best seasons, and
Yeah.
like debate who won the draft. Then a month later, we'll do like a normal fantasy one because I've been wanting to do a
Okay.
league with you again,
All
and
right.
for this year.
Okay. That's cool. All right.
And it'll
Yeah.
be timed. Like each person's picks will be timed, so it'll only be an hour and a half.
Okay.
Because it'll
That sounds
be
good.
live. It'll be on ESPN or Yahoo. So yeah,
Okay. That'll work.
cool.
That'll
Well,
work.
we went a little later than I thought, but I want to say
Yeah.
thanks to everybody. Janae, thank you for everybody for your comments. Ben, it was fun to have you on. Chris, my coworker, my students, everybody. Bill, I hope you guys have a great weekend. And me and you next season are doing at least one in-person show. So whether you come here, I come up there when we watch a game. We do it like on Sunday, and we do like a Packer preview, or like on a Thursday night, I'll come up there before the game or something.
Okay. Sounds
That's
like
gonna
a
be
plan,
fun.
man.
All right,
All right,
guys.
my friend.
I will see
Bye,
you.
guys.
Oh, I would win if I won my. I sucked this year. I was only good in one of my leagues. But guys, I will see you on Blitz. I hope you join us tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time, unless something changes on the time. I will see you guys tomorrow. This is episode 37 of the Fun Football Podcast. Out. Thank y'all.